Hi, welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Um, yeah, so just me tonight. Um, so yeah, actually, since it's just me, I can make this a little bigger. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, all you sexy people out there? Let's see. We've got Phil W. My local church is so old that no one really knows how old it is, at least 930 years. I'm guessing you're in Europe, because here in North America, well, I mean, Christians have only known about North America for like the last 600 years, so, it's kind of impossible for a church to be that old here. Okay. Well, hello. So, yeah, ADHD struck again. I forgot to like line up guests or do any of the prep work for the stream tonight. So it's just like, oh, what can I do where I can like still stream? Oh, I was right. Phil W is in Germany. There's some nice old buildings in Germany. So yeah, I was like, okay, what can I do that'll still allow me to stream, but I'm not gonna have to be like, hey, can like anyone stream in half an hour because I forgot to ask y'all earlier, sort of thing. And so I landed on Bible quizzes. So we're gonna do some Bible quizzes tonight. See how well I know the Bible. There's two creation science quizzes in there, but I think one might be a parody thing. Like it, well, you'll see when we get there. Devil's Advocate says different hairstyle looks good. It's not different. It's just lack of a cut. Like I need to like make an appointment and go get my hair cut, and I just don't do that. So this happens, and this is actually why I normally do keep it short, because it doesn't matter what I do to it. It does this. Like I can put the best gel stuff in it, style it, whatever, and within 5 minutes after I've done that, it looks like this again. And you can ask my daughter, because it's actually it's become part of our bedtime routine now that I have hair, that she's decided that she wants to like style my hair as I'm like reading them their book, and it's cute and it's adorable, and she tries to make me look like Steve from Stranger Things, and yeah, it always ends up looking like this at the end. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I know we had the final countdown song going on earlier, which I guess that probably would have been better than my music, but I imagine I would have had copyright issues if I'd have actually used that. But yeah, that would be more fun. Anyway, let's do some Bible quizzes. So we're going to start with this one. How well do you know the Bible? I haven't actually seen any of these in advance, so we will wait till she paints your toenails. He said she's done that. I've actually my last job, there was a guy who, Canadian Trump supporter, I don't know how that happens, but he was super conservative and everything, and he was always like really annoying, and she painted my toenails rainbow for Pride Month, and I took a picture and I was showing everybody at work, and everybody's going like, oh, that's cute, oh, that's cute. Then I showed this guy, and he's like, oh, stay away from me, and he wouldn't go near me the rest of the shift. It was amazing. It's like, why are you afraid of a little bit of paint on the toenails? Like, why does that legitimately scare you? Like, are you not comfortable in your sexuality? Like, you are so fragile in your sexuality that you think seeing another guy's painted toenails is going to turn you gay or something? Like, what? Why are you scared of that? I don't know. But yeah, I have no problem with her painting my nails. And actually, now that I don't work in a restaurant, see, before she used to get annoyed because she could only do my toenails, and she wanted to do my fingernails, but I couldn't do my fingernails because not even the women working at the restaurant were allowed to have their fingernails painted with anything other than like a clear coat. So now that I don't have that excuse, she's happy to paint my fingernails. She hasn't done that yet, though. I'm kind of surprised. Okay. Oh, my chats are doing different things. I'm trying to find a comment so I can show it. but it's not showing up in my thingy. Whatever. John Brown says because colorful things are scary. I don't know why that's not popping up in my chat. Yeah, so so that makes me think the conservatives are all, or like Republicans, right-wing conservatives, they're always referring to liberals as the snowflakes, but then they literally get scared by the refraction of light. Like, what? Who's the snowflake? Oh, do we have a troll already? Ah, no, he's just making jokes about my coworker. That's fine. Anyway, I've got a few quizzes up. Starting with Bible trivia quiz. I don't know. This is 52 questions. Let's start with the shorter one. Let's go to this one. It's only 20 questions. Do you know the Bible? Take the quiz. Begin quiz. Okay, let's zoom in a little so we don't need to see them asking for my email address. And the New Testament was originally written in which language? That's Greek. Oh, it doesn't wait for me to submit the answer. Old Testament was written in Hebrew and the New Testament in Greek. I believe there was some Aramaic in the Old Testament too. If painted toenails challenge your manhood, the toenails aren't the problem. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Next question. Which woman is mentioned most in Scripture? Sarah, Rachel, or Mary? Sarah gets a lot of posthumous mentions. Rachel has a book, but is she mentioned a lot? I feel like it's going to be Mary. I don't know. The fact that this is like 3/4 of the women in the Bible altogether is quite telling. And I just read Genesis with Lily, and there's a lot of mentions of Sarah in there. Is Rachel the one? No, Rachel was Jacob's favorite wife, wasn't she? Yeah, so it's not Rachel, because she was only mentioned a handful of times. Sarah was Abraham's wife. Yeah, it's got to be Mary. No, Sarah. Ah, you guys are throwing me off. I was leaning towards Sarah, and then all y'all started saying Mary. So Sarah and Rachel are... Rachel gets 47 mentions. Wow. I remember not that many Rachels. Anyway, yeah, so the literal mother of God gets fewer mentions than Abraham's wife and one of Jacob's 4 wives. Well, 2 wives and 2 wives' slaves. Biblical marriage, y'all. 1 man, 2 wives, and his 2 wives' slaves. Okay. God gave manna to the Israelites while they were in the desert. What does the word manna mean? I think it means God provides, I'm pretty sure. No? What is it? It means what is it? They named their food. What the fuck is this? I kind of love that. The Greek word manna. Oh, is that one of those things? Is the word manna one of those things where it's like, okay, well, it was in Hebrew and then it got translated into Greek, and so then the Latin Vulgate used the Greek translation to become Latin, which then got and so it's one of those things that that didn't really make it through the translation properly, because they literally just finished telling me that the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, and here they are talking about the Greek word manna. Anyway, I still think it's funny that they called their food, what the fuck is this? Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but... Who was the first Christian martyr? Abel, Stephen, or Peter? Now, this one depends on... Because I could see a young earth creationist going with Abel, because they're all like, oh yeah, all those Old Testament guys, they were really Christians. Stephen, fun fact about Stephen, I don't know if, like, not the disciple Stephen, but there was like a Stephen the magician that was wandering around the same time as Paul, and there are a lot of like apocryphal gospels that have like Paul facing off against Stephen. It's pretty fun. Who was the first? Mr. Common Sense says first First Christian martyr was Yeshua. Yeah, if you want to be really accurate. Maybe Judas. Because technically Christianity couldn't have happened without Judas. And didn't he hang himself before Judas? No. Stephen is too specific not to be. I don't know. I feel like it's Peter. But I was thinking of the Jesus Christ Superstar timeline where Judas immediately hangs himself before the crucifixion. But that's because they needed him to be dead and an angel so that he could do the Jesus Christ Superstar number from the grave. I'm going Peter. Last time I listened to the chat, I got fucked over. Fuck. God damn it. Stephen was stoned for his belief in Christ. The story of his death is found in Acts 7. Okay, but wasn't James put to death before that? I don't know. Yeah, Peter did preach for a while. But I mean, I don't know. But okay, so this wouldn't be the Apostle Stephen or the Disciple Stephen. This would be a different Stephen because, well, I don't know. Let's go see Acts chapter 7. Acts 7. ESV, because I like the ESV. Stephen's speech. And the high priest said, "Are these things so?" The stoning of Stephen. There we go. When they had heard these things, they were enraged, and they ground their teeth at him. But he, full of the Holy Spirit, gazed into heaven and saw the glory of God, Jesus standing at the right hand of God, and said, "Behold, I see the heavens open, and the Son of Man," blah, blah, blah. They cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and rushed together at him. They cast him out of the city and stoned him, and the witnesses laid down their garments at the feet of a young man named Saul. And when they were stoning Stephen, he called out, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice. So I guess this would place in the timeline Stephen's death before Paul even started writing. So yes, Paul... Oh, this is kind of cut off for you guys. Well, whatever, I read it out loud. So yeah, Paul... or Peter would not have been before Stephen then if Stephen was stoned before Paul was Paul. And that's actually, a lot of people think that Paul's name changed at his revelation of Jesus. That didn't actually happen. He's just called Saul sometimes and Paul other times. There is no actual name change with him. What is the only book of the Bible that does not contain the word God? I'm pretty sure that's Ruth, actually. No, Esther. I knew it was one of the lady books. Well, I guess the Song of Solomon could be considered a lady book too. It's not about a lady, but, well, I mean, it's kind of about a lady. I'm not doing too well on this quiz. Where was Jesus born? I know this one. Bethlehem. Matthew 2:1 tells us Jesus was born in Bethlehem in the days of Herod the king, 10 years before Quirinius was doing his census. That also happened when Jesus was born. The lost tribe of Israel was called the Fakawi. They roamed the planet, and everywhere they went, they met a group of people. They would say, "Where the fuck are we?" That's a horrible joke, which is why I love it. Dealt with the creationists that said Jesus was born in Jerusalem. Well, clearly they didn't know what the hell they were talking about, because that's basic. I'm surprised that's even on the quiz, because everybody knows that. How many times do the phrases "fear not," "do not fear" show up in the Bible? I have no idea. You guys know? Any guesses from the chat? Because how many times a certain phrase shows up in the Bible is not an important piece of Bible knowledge to have. This is actually this is kind of telling, because every answer I give, I have all this other Bible knowledge that's somewhat related to it, but it's some minor detail that I don't quite know, which woman was mentioned more. I don't know. Does it matter? So how many times did the phrase "fear not" show up in the Bible? Who fucking cares? Why is that relevant to anything? The only way I could see it being relevant is if I'm metagaming it here. I'm going to say 365, because that could tie into some numerology crap that I could see people doing, where it's oh, well, there's significance with the words "fear not" or "do not fear," because they show up the same number of days in a year. just ignoring the fact that 365 is not 360. What is it? 365.242 or something like that. Yeah, they like. Oh, so I'm saying 96 because it's reverse 69. I like your reasoning, but I'm going with 365. Yeah. Variation of the phrase "fear not" appear in the Bible 365 times. How many brothers did Jesus have? 4. I know this one because he had James and 3 others. This is one of the points that I've used to argue against Gary Habermas's minimal facts argument, because part of the minimal facts argument is that James, the brother of Jesus, someone who knew him best, was converted when he saw him rise from the dead. And my response to that is like, okay, well, of his 4 brothers, he managed to convert 1 by appearing to them after death. So that's not like 25% conversion rate of the people that knew you best is not great. Oh, I like that reasoning. 70% of all the earth is covered in water and none of it is carbonated, therefore the earth is flat. Checkmate. Okay, but the acidification of the ocean is literally from adding carbon to it. It's carbonic acid, so technically it's carbonated. Might not be bubbly, but it's carbonated. Don't forget about his brother Bob. Oh, there's... Oh, my dad always tells me about this, and I keep meaning to read it. It's like the Bible according to Biff, or the Gospel according to Biff, or something like that. It's like a satirical gospel. And I always get it confused with the Book of Biff, because that's a webcomic that I don't think he draws it anymore, but I used to read it. It was kind of funny. It was just like single panel things that were just absurdly ridiculous that I enjoyed. Anyway, let's answer the question. 4. James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon. God couldn't have like told Joseph and Mary like, hey, maybe don't name any of your kids Judas, because that's going to be like kind of confusing that like Judas is both Jesus' brother and the guy who betrayed Jesus. Philip says that book is amazing, highly recommended. So it'd be the Gospel according to Biff, I guess. Well, let's see. Let me look it up so I make sure I get the title right. Gospel according to Biff. Yeah, the Gospel according to Biff, Christ's childhood pal. It's like $20. I'll leave that open so I remember to like actually buy it later. Or get the audiobook. How many books are in the Bible? Depends which Bible we're talking about. Is James River Church Catholic? I don't know. I don't think 73 or 71 are either the Catholic numbers. I think it's like 66. I think it might be 79 in the Catholic Bible, or 78. And then I think the Ethiopian Orthodox, maybe? One of the Ethiopian denominations has 81, and they've got the most. But if this is a Protestant organization, it's 66. Yeah, beginning with Genesis, ending with Revelation, there are 66 books in the Bible. But again, this is not important knowledge to have about the Bible. Like, at what point is your salvation going to be dependent on how many books there are in the Bible? Oh, there we go. Simon says Catholic is 73. I thought Catholics were 78. Let's Google that. How many books in the Catholic Bible? 73. Okay, yeah, you were right. And it's cut off there, sorry. There were 2 men who never died in the Bible. Elijah was one. Who was the other? Enoch. I know that one. It's in the... it doesn't actually really go into... Like, there's the Book of Enoch, but that's an apocryphal book. I'm not sure if that's one's in the Catholic Bible. I think it's not. But yeah, it's like the only... Like in one of the genealogies, it just mentioned, like, Enoch lived so many years and then he walked with God, whereas for everybody else it's and then they died. So it doesn't actually explicitly say he doesn't die. They just use different words for it. Digital Hammurabi's in the chat says, just admit there are giants and dinosaurs in the Bible and I'll be on my way. Hey, Megan and or Josh, whoever is posting there, you want to throw that link to that book that you guys just released in the chat? And maybe in a comment? because there's an atheist handbook to the New Testament that is out now. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that. Or rather, I'm not good. I can't read books anymore. I don't know why. I can't. Okay. Oop, no, wrong one. It's Megan, but I'm changing to Josh. Kristen Mills says Orthodox has 81, Ethiopian is 84. Okay, so I had the numbers right for one of them. But yeah, the Ethiopian Bible is the longest Bible. And, my goodness. You guys keep like sending messages as I click on things, so it goes to the next one. So yeah. Oh, channeling Josh, not changing to Josh. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, there we go. tinyurl.com/56ps36nk is how you order the Atheist Handbook to the New Testament Volume 2. I can't, and what I was trying to say is that I cannot wait for the Seth Andrews audiobook to be out, because I will definitely be listening to that. Oh yeah, there we go. Seth Andrews is narrating the audiobook. I hear he had, I think it was chapter 3 in the first one, that had like all the ancient Sumerian names and everything, and he had a really hard time with that one. Anyway, good to have you in the chat. Everybody go buy the book. I think it released today. It was supposed to release a little later, but they got it out early because they're just awesome like that. Anyway, Enoch, that's the answer. Hebrews 11:5 tells us that Enoch was taken up so that he should not see. Okay, so yeah, like 1,000 years after that, someone else came along and was like, Enoch was taken up. And I don't think they got that just from the genealogy. They probably, like, the author of Hebrews probably got that from the book of Enoch, because like canon wasn't really, they didn't look at canon in the same way that we do today. Is Hebrews one of the uncontested Paul books? I don't know. Oh, let's look that up. I'm looking up everything tonight. Who wrote Hebrews? One of the books in the New Testament. The text does not mention the name of its author, but was traditionally attributed to Paul. So that makes me feel like... Yeah, so it's... Okay, so it was written in a deliberate imitation of the style of Paul. So it's not uncontested, but it's not impossible that it was Paul. So whoever wrote Hebrews probably was using the Book of Enoch. Anyway, what is the oldest written book of the Bible? Oh, Job, obviously. I mean, I say obviously as if that's common knowledge, but a lot of people think it's Genesis. Manasseh was the longest reigning king of the Bible. How long did he reign? It's either 40 or 55, because I'm pretty sure there were others that reigned for more than 25. We should probably all hit that like button, because we all love VR. And Vice Rhino is really bad at self-promotion, so I almost never say like and subscribe and all that crap. I can't even promote this channel. Like I have to figure out a good way to promote this channel at the end of my other videos, because like I don't know. It just, I'm bad at self-promotion. Like I hit pay dirt with the YouTube channel to begin with, like just having a YouTube channel that is like successful enough that I can live off of it, but I can't like get any second thing off the ground because I don't know. I'm weird. Anyway, I'm guessing 55. There we go. Manasseh was king of the kingdom of Judah. In 2 Kings 21:1, he began his reign at 12 years old. Oh yeah, he was a boy king. Yeah. Okay. Samson used a donkey's jawbone to kill how many men? Okay. We finally get to stuff that's actually like real Bible stuff. And it's like, how many people did this guy just straight up murder? This guy that's supposed to be a hero. How many people did he straight up murder? Okay, John Brown's calling me out for actually doing some self-promotion on this channel. Yeah, thing is, it took me a ridiculously long time to figure out how to write a line that I could open my videos with, being like and subscribe. And because like how do I tell people to like my, like, if they like it they will like it, right? They don't need me to tell them, right? If they like it they're going to subscribe. Why would they need me to tell them? Because the way I'm wired is, if you tell me to do something, I immediately want to do the opposite. So if I'm already subscribed and somebody says subscribe, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna unsubscribe because you can't tell me what to do. But I know that's not how most people are wired, so I have to like try and tailor stuff to them. So I recorded that once and I will use that forever now. Like, it's gonna be a while before I bother to redo that at all. Anyway, I'm gonna go with 1,000 because bigger is better, right? Yeah. In Judges 15, we are told Samson found a fresh jawbone of a donkey, so it still had like flesh dangling off of it, I guess, and put out his hand and took it, and with it he struck 1,000 men. How heroic. Yeah, that's my intern. So for those of you who don't know, Megan also has ADHD. So yeah, back to what I was talking about earlier at the beginning of the stream. See, this is why I don't do stuff by myself, because I need someone to keep me on track. But yeah, back at the beginning of the stream, I started talking about like how like I forgot to schedule people, and like this whole week has been a really weird week for, like, I completely fucked up my kids' summer camp schedules. So they have a friend that they always do this one camp with every year, and we coordinated it, and for whatever reason I booked it for this week, the week that we're in now, but I put it in my calendar for last week, and the camp is not like the camp is not their primary thing. It's like a farm that also does a camp, and so they like, their website isn't the best set up. And so like I didn't get a confirmation email when I booked it, and I'm just like, I want to make sure that my kids actually got in, because like this is a camp that fills up, so if they're not in and I don't confirm it, then like that's going to be my fault. So I emailed them and I confirmed that they were in for last week, and I got an email back saying, yeah, we got them, you're good. So when I took them last Monday to the camp, they were not on the list because I booked them for this week, because this is the week that I was supposed to book them for. Except the problem is, because I put it in my calendar as last week, I then booked Lily at her first ever overnight camp this week. So last week I'm there with 3 kids. I'm like, do you have space for Lily? Can you keep her? Because like otherwise she's just going to miss the camp. And yeah, they let her stay last week. But that made things difficult for me last week. So I, like, Lily's my babysitter. She looks after the boys while I work. So I lost that. So the boys were by themselves. And then Monday night, I played some Among Us on, like, with the boys and Lily, and so to do that, I turned off the parental controls on their Nintendo Switches. They both have one of the little Switch lights, and I didn't turn the controls back on, and both of them snuck their Switches into bed with them after I put them to bed. So at like 10 o'clock, I go upstairs and they're both still like playing on their Switches. And so they got grounded from screens on the first day of the week, when it's like, that's normally how, like, when Lily's not here, like, I know it's not ideal to just sit them in front of the TV all day, but like, I'm a single dad trying to make a living. I got to do what I got to do sometimes. If there's no one that can take them or look after them or play with them, that's the easiest way to, make sure that they're not killing each other. But also, as a good parent, I couldn't just let them get away with having stolen their Switches to bed and played on them all night. So I had to ground them from screens. So a couple days they were grounded from screens, and yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, at one point they asked if they could go to the library, and I know that they asked because the library has computers and there are games on the computers, so I know that they were like trying to pull a fast one on me. but I needed them out of the house. So I was just like, yeah, you can go to the library because books are not screens. Off you go. And so they went to the library and they played video games all afternoon, and I let them think that they got away with it. Oh, it's 4 a.m. here. Are you a minor living at home that's not supposed to be on a device right now? Yeah. Yeah. Bigger punishment to yourself. Yes. That's the thing. Being a good parent is a lot harder than being a bad parent. That's why I mean, if being a good parent was easier, everybody would be a good parent. But, yeah. Anyway, continuing the quiz. What question are we on? These should be numbered, because I have no idea. The oldest man on record, Methuselah, lived to be how old? I want to say it's 969, because I know it was over 900. And I don't think it was exactly 900. But yeah, 969. Nice. Nice, Methuselah. Okay. Next. The phrase, God never gives you more than you can handle, shows up where in Scripture? Nowhere. This is a trick question. There we go. Boom. Well, the phrase sounds similar to 1 Corinthians 10:13, God will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. It actually isn't found in the Bible. Yeah, it's a paraphrasing of that one. But also, like, clearly that's not true, because otherwise people wouldn't fall into temptation. Like if you were actually trying to resist the temptation and you were not tempted beyond what you were able to resist, then you would not fall into temptation. So the fact that there are these godly men who are, well, I'm saying men because I have a specific temptation that they constantly fall into in the church in mind, but like you wouldn't have these godly people falling into temptation if they weren't tempted beyond what they could resist. So that's a demonstrable mistake, error, untruth, inaccuracy. Sure. How many books are in the Old Testament? Okay, it's 20 something in the New Testament. 26, I want to say. Let's see. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I know there's 66 books in the whole book, minus. Let's see. 41 is 25. Ooh, that might be right. Might be 41. 66 minus 39 is 27. Oh, yeah, that might. It's 41 or 39. I'm thinking 39 because I was thinking 28 in the New Testament, and 27 is closer than the other one was. So, yeah, 39. Okay, but again, this is like half this quiz has been useless stuff that has nothing to do with it. What's the last word in the Bible? Amen. I know that. First word is in, last word is amen. They made a big deal about that in CLC class, Christian lifestyle class in high school. So it was supposed to have some significance that, you know, it starts with in and ends with amen. Like, yeah, whatever. What is the shortest book of the Bible? 2 John, Philemon, or Titus? Titus is pretty damn short. 2 John is pretty damn short. Philemon's pretty. Those are all pretty damn short books. I'm guessing Titus. Nope, 2 John. Only 13 verses in 2 John. Who cut Samson's hair? Delilah. No, a servant. Damn it. Yeah, it was Delilah's idea to cut Samson's hair, but she had a male servant, read slave, shave Samson's head. Because she didn't want to touch that oaf. Yes, John Brown, you are the first John. Yeah, if there's one thing I learned from the Samson Delilah story is that Samson... Well, okay, two things I learned is that Samson is a complete idiot, and Delilah hated his guts. So, like, why do so many Bible stories? It's like, why do they even call this a good Bible story? Because, like, it's clearly just everybody sucks. How old was Jesus when the 3 wise men visited him? Ah, so this... It's 2... because that's where you get the King Herod killed all the kids that were 2 years old and younger based on the timeline that the wise men gave him. But in the other book, oh, do we have a Paul in the chat? Philemon. Philemon. I don't know. See, I considered inviting Paul on to do the Bible quiz with me if he was free. I don't know if he was free or not, but I'm like, no, he would kick my ass because he's got like the whole New Testament memorized or something. But you know, some of this stuff, it doesn't matter how much you have memorized. Are you gonna like go through your whole memory and count how many times Rachel was mentioned? Like, yeah. Yeah, so the answer they're looking for is 2, but that doesn't really sit well with the... I think it was Luke that had the wise men and Matthew that didn't. I think that's right. So yeah, in Luke, he was 2, but in Matthew... No, I might have it. God damn it. I hate wanting to be accurate, because it doesn't really... You guys don't care. It doesn't matter. You can look it up. Matthew chapter 1. Genealogy of Jesus Christ. Yeah, not there. Yeah, no, Matthew has the wise men. Luke does not. Okay, yeah, I had that backwards. So in Matthew he's 2, but in Luke he goes through the circumcision and the dedication at the temple or whatever, and then I ran the numbers on it, I forget exactly, but he was like 8 months old when they left Bethlehem in Luke, and they just like left. They just went straight to Nazareth, whereas in Matthew they flee Bethlehem because of Herod trying to kill the babies, and they go to Egypt to hide from them, and then when they're coming back to Judea, Herod's son is in charge of Bethlehem, the province that Bethlehem is in, so they go to Nazareth instead, which was ruled over by Herod's other son, so that doesn't make a lot of sense, but they had to figure out a way to have Jesus come from Nazareth but be born in Bethlehem, and both authors took a different path to that. Yeah, while most nativity scenes show the wise men with baby Jesus in the manger, scholars believe that their journey took Jesus to them around 2 years. No, that's... I would say that I don't... Maybe Paul would know this better than me, but yeah, because he knew there were no wise men in Luke without having to look it up probably. But my understanding is that scholars generally consider the birth narratives to not be an accurate part of it. Like even the Christian scholars will be like, okay, well this is like it's clearly theologically motivated somehow or other. Like I know that's what Ehrman thinks of it, and I know that Richard Carrier will use it as evidence that Jesus was not a real person, because like clearly, or no, it's the opposite of that, is that the birth stories are evidence that he was a real person, because they had to find a way to make this guy that was obviously from Nazareth, that everybody knew was from Nazareth, come from Bethlehem, because the prophecies had him in Bethlehem. Anyway, whatever. So I don't know if most scholars would agree that the wise men were actually a real thing that happened, but that's one of those things where it's possible, because most biblical scholars that specialize in New Testament stuff are Christians working at Christian institutions, so there probably are some that will have an opinion on that one way or the other. But like I said, look to the chat for Paul. I'm expecting him to do my work for me. Oh, see results. That was the last one. What did I get? I don't want to share my score. Oh, 14 out of 20. Okay, that's not terrible. I thought I did worse than that. That's not terrible. Okay. Next. Okay, should I do the honest creationist quiz or the dishonest one? Let's do the dishonest one, because that one looks like fun. So this site, I like kind of got the quiz at first, and then like I was reading through it and it's like, it's kind of funny, but then I saw like the ads on the side, like on the right, it's going through like some really, really terrible Bible verses and telling you to that you can buy biblical wisdom gear. It's like, for everyone that crushed, or there she lusted after her lovers whose genitals were like those of whatever. It's going too fast for me to read them, but they like all my favorite Bible verses are going through there. Welcome to Jesus Land, shocking tales of depravity, sex, and sin. Value t-shirts, infidel, get religion for less than the cost of a haircut. So like, this is clearly a hostile website, but it's a fun little quiz. So, why are there clouds in the sky? Heat causes water on the earth. So this is so objective. Using the Holy Bible as your guide, correctly answer each of the following scientific questions. After you are finished, check your answers by clicking here. Heat causes water on the earth to condense and rise up in the atmosphere where it forms clouds, or clouds are God's footprints in heaven and are made up of the dust from his feet. Now, I'm going to say, biblically speaking, it's kind of silent on the matter, but there is a little tiny bit of a verse in Job that could be interpreted as the water cycle. So I'm going to guess A, even though I know that they're going to say that's wrong. Oh, yeah, there's a pop-up that up there says, wrong, that's not what the Bible says, your score is now 0. Well, what if I click on B? You've already answered that. Okay. Ah, now it's got both of them selected. Okay. Why are some people blind, deaf, dumb, or handicapped in some or other way? These are deficiencies that are deliberately inflicted on some people by God, or most of these problems are caused by defects in the genetic makeup of an individual which are randomly and presently inexplicable. I don't know about inexplicable, and I don't know if most are genetic, because a lot of people like go blind or deaf or get other handicaps like through like accidents or things that happen to them later in life. Speech impediments, yeah, that might be a developmental thing. It might be genetic, might not. I don't know. Although I think the answer he's looking for is A. Your score is now 1. That one is what the Bible says, yeah. What causes thunder and lightning? Zeus is the lightning, Thor is the thunder. Until thunder killed lightning. Hashtag spoilers. It's not much of a spoiler. It's played for a joke more than anything. God's will. Thunder is the sound of his bellowing voice. Lightning is a deadly force he deliberately hurls at various places. Yeah, that sounds like it's from Job. They are the products of clouds colliding. Thunder is the sound they make, and lightning is the electrical current produced. That's a terrible explanation. Whoever wrote this quiz, they're clearly being satirical about the Bible, but they also clearly don't really know their shit. The angels are bowling. Yeah, we know that one. Shannon says, is this show any good? No, it's not. It's just me doing Bible quizzes. God's will. My score is now 2. Why do we sometimes see rainbows? The colors are caused by the refraction of light, which is inherent in the aftermath of a large downfall of rain. Again, this person's using language that just isn't it doesn't have to be a large downfall of rain. It could just be like a little spritz of water from a hose. That's not a large downfall of rain. God has them occur periodically to remind him that he promised not to brutally kill all the men, women, children, and unborn children of the earth again. Yep, that's what the Bible says. What causes tornadoes to form? High and low pressure weather fronts collide, causing a whirlwind to form in the upper atmosphere, which sometimes extends to the ground. I don't know if that's actually what causes... Oh, yeah. Thor is a Christian film, FYI. Yeah, I saw Sean McDowell posting about that. Apparently, if you read the article, it's because Gore gets all like angry and tries to get revenge on the gods for letting him suffer, and then at the end he repents and feels regret for all that sort of thing. So it's a standard redemption arc, pretty normal. But because there was a redemption, it's automatically Christian, even though like he tries to compare him to Job, but it's like, yeah, he's Job if Job wouldn't have taken any of God's shit and was like, yeah, no, you let my daughter die in front, like I was holding on to my daughter while she died while you were sitting in your garden having a feast, you asshole. So he stabbed him in the throat. Hashtag spoilers. We're spoiling things. We're spoiling Thor on this stream is what we're doing. I thought it was Loki. No, it wasn't Loki. It was Gore. Gore the God Butcher. Loki wasn't even in it. I mean, they mentioned Loki and they showed him a bit. But I liked... Okay, if you haven't seen Thor, it's just the opening sequence, so I'm not spoiling much more than I already have, but like it opens with what's his face, the rock guy, Korg? Is it Korg? He's the narrator for the thing, and he does it in his fashion. It's funny. But he's talking about Loki, and it's like, and Loki died, and then he was returned to us, and then he died again, and then he was returned to us again, and then he died, but for realsies this time. And it was funny. Anyway, God uses tornadoes to kill sinners when he wants a quick result, as opposed to the somewhat slower means of plagues and pestilence. I don't recall that being in the Bible, but I'm pretty sure that's what the quiz wants. Why are some women unable to have children? It's punishment for being adulterers, whether they admit the sin or not. It's the product of the fallopian tubes that are not fully developed, or complications in the uterus that are a result of various medical phenomena. There's a lot more to it than that. Again, this guy doesn't really know the proper science either. I'm assuming guy, whatever. But yeah, and even in the Bible, this is not the only reason why women would be unable to have children. That's just that's the abortion reason. After God gives them the abortion for being unfaithful, then they can no longer have children. What causes earthquakes? Intense heat in the Earth's core causes platelets to collide, thereby... Okay, I'm pretty sure platelets is not... Like, isn't platelets part of your blood? Yeah, platelets are small, colorless cell fragments in our blood that form clots and prevent bleeding. He means tectonic plates. The platelets in your blood are colliding, and that causes earthquakes. What he thinks are the real answers are even funnier than the fake answers in this one. Oh, so this page was clearly set up by one of the angry atheists that doesn't actually know what he's talking about. Why do rivers and springs sometimes dry up? Quite simply, this is the product of the sin of those nearby, or the condensation of moisture from the bodies of water into the atmosphere outstrips the amount of rain needed to replenish the bodies. Yeah, we know that one. Why do certain areas of the world experience drought? Hello, kitty. Kitty! Wouldn't be a stream without kitty. There's an imbalance between water evaporation and rainfall, often caused by lack of proximity to substantial bodies of water, or this is one of God's many punishments for sin. Yeah, we know that. Why are some men afflicted with hemorrhoids? There's a story in the Bible where they like make golden hemorrhoids as a cure for hemorrhoids. It's fun. Hemorrhoids, it's the afflictions of another of God's countless methods of punishing sinners. Yeah, so I got 9 out of 10 because the first one I answered seriously. Oh, we got Bible verses for this. So, clouds are God's footprints in heaven. As the Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked, the Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Yeah, clearly that's not literal, though. Like, yeah, we know that one. Yeah, yep, I was right. That's a Job verse. Why do we see rainbows? Yeah, and we know that one. Tornadoes, here we go. Oh, whirlwind. Okay, yeah, sure, whirlwind. Okay, let's do a serious creationist quiz. This one, I think I need to crop all the way out because it like is big. Nope. There we go. Alright, this one's timed, so I'm not going to be able to, like, discuss every single question like I was with the other one. So let's go. And it's got sound effects. Question 1. Dinosaurs are not in the Bible. True. It's true, they're not in the Bible. Get a second chance out. Okay, so I'm getting this. This is like an actual game thing. No, the Bible does not mention dinosaurs. It mentions things that some people interpret as dinosaurs, but they are not actually dinosaurs. How do you think people determine what is right and wrong morally? Oh. I've glitched it. It's got a little pop-up in the thing that's not started the timer yet. If it hurts other humans, i.e. parent society, I don't know. God has built humans. Okay. God has built humans with a moral conscience. That's the creationist answer. Ooh, I'm moving up the scoreboard. The second creature in Job 41 lives in water, has terrible teeth and scale, very strong and fearless. Smoke comes... That's Leviathan. 890 points. Moving up the rankings. One who believes in the biblical account of creation is a creationist. Duh. Like, what? Who gets that wrong? Is your teacher a monster? What? Genesis tells us that God created the universe in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. What did God create on day one? Oceans, I think. Light and darkness? Didn't he, like, do the waters separated from the waters? Okay, whatever. I went down! No, I'm not going to use power-ups, because who the fuck cares? Genesis tells us that God created the universe in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. What did God create on day 2? Separated the waters. There we go. Wasn't day 1, had to have been day 2, right? Right? Noah's flood explains why sea creatures are found in the fossil record in mountains above the sea level. No, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. Hedge your bets. Nope. Where does it state in Genesis that God created all living things to produce after his kind? You can use the Bible for this question. Genesis 1:20? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Don't like the music? Pass the aux cable. Ha ha, that was cute. Dinosaurs possibly living at the same time as humans, not before humans. Biblical creation, I guess? Possibly living at the same time as humans. So they say dinosaurs are in the Bible, but they're not even convinced that dinosaurs are actually a real thing. Reattempt a question you got wrong. Choose wisely. Sure. 2. Genesis tells us that God created the universe in 6 days. What did God create on day 1? Light and darkness. Yeah. There we go. 11th. I'm in 11th place for this thing. No thanks. Genesis tells us that God created the universe in 6 days, and on the 7th day, what did God create on day 3? Light and darkness. No. No, that was day 1. Fuck. God damn it. That was stupid. Yeah, okay, I don't care about these fucking power-ups. I'm not that serious about this. Oh no, I'm in 16th place. In 1859, who came up with the theory of evolution? Charles Barkley. Put a ring on it. I don't know if you saw that. I actually, like, that was question 1. I'll tell you later. This image is made up of which theory? Darwinian evolution. No, it's not. Hey, 14th place. The idea that the beginning of everything came from nothing, that's not evolution. That's not evolution. That's literally creation, because God created everything out of nothing. Isn't that their whole thing? We know that dinosaurs were buried very quickly by sediment because of the discovery of blood cells and fossils. Well, that's false, but they want me to say true. It wasn't actually blood cells. It was structures that looked like blood cells. Which order of events makes most sense according to the biblical account? Creation, fall of man, global flood, spread of civilizations. Yeah, don't need to read the other ones. That's what they're looking for. Darwinian evolution theory does not support the idea of a creator god. True. Ooh, 7th place. One who believes in the theory of evolution is a creationist, obviously. Oh my god. This quiz is ridiculous. Who was the first man to see a dinosaur? Genesis 2:19, God formed... Oh, okay, that's Adam. In chapter 2, that's Adam. Mystery box with Streak Saver. And Double Jeopardy. And ×2. Not using any of those. Redemption question. Genesis tells us that God created the universe in 6 days. Okay, what did God create on day 3? Land and vegetation. There we go. Got to redo that one. Since no humans were around at the beginning of time, we must have blank and look at the blank around us for answers. Faith and evidence? Sure. That's probably what they want. That's a stupid answer to that question. If something was created, then reason would say that there must be a creator. Adam named every animal. Yeah, that was the one they were looking at. No, I don't want to use power-ups. Genesis tells us that God created the universe in 6 days and rested on the 7th. What did he create on day 5? Sun, moon, planet? No, I was thinking of that one. Damn it. I know day 6 was the land people. Oh my god, I went all the way down to 5th. No. What book of the Bible gives the creation account? Genesis. Duh. No, I don't want to use Streak Saver. The first creature in Job 40 eats grass like... Oh, that's Behemoth. And has a penis that waves like a tree. That's biblical dick joke. That's the biblical dick joke that they just asked me about. No, stop asking. The image supports which theory? Reproducing after their own kind. Okay, well, if you have to tell me what the image says, then, like, it's not a very good image. Third place. Can I get to first? Genesis tells us, okay, what do you... Oh, that's land animals and humans. I know that one. I know that one. Day 6. That's when the dinosaurs showed up. Oh, come on. No. Genesis tells us that God... Okay, day 4? Didn't we do this one already? Yeah, sure. No, we didn't do this one because that's what I picked for the other one and I got it wrong. Second place! Dinosaurs are not in the Bible. False. Boo. Oh, how did I lose points on... How did I go down on that? Skip to summary. I got 96%. And I got third place. Only 21 people have taken that quiz. Oh my god. That was a fun one. But yeah, a lot of those were like... Well, I mean, it was creation quiz, but it's like... Some of them were just so obvious. Behemoth is a hippo or possibly a rhino. Some people say elephant. Personally, I am partial to the hippo hypothesis because of the way it describes it, like lounging around in the reeds and stuff. It's like elephants and rhinos don't really do that, at least not as much as hippos do. But yeah, that's where the biblical dick joke is. Okay. Yeah, that was that quiz. We can close that one. Okay, this is Bible trivia. More Bible trivia. Let's see, I can close that one. Oh yeah, that was the 50-some-odd question quiz. I prefer Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe, leaf be upon her. And rhinos are chubby unicorns. I selected that one by accident, but it's true. I have a shirt that says it. I never wear it because it's just a little bit too small for me because they don't make shirts that really fit me that well. What about a crocodile? I believe crocodile was was one of the potential interpretations of Leviathan. Specifically the Nile crocodile, because they can get pretty darn massive. Okay. Should I do trivia for kids, trivia for youth, or challenging? See, my question is, are they asking about actual important crap that's in the Bible, or is it going to be more like, how many books are there in this testament? And how many times is this person's name mentioned? I got a dick like a cedar, y'all. Because I'm hung. Are you? Dark Falcon says, are we trying to say that the host of the stream is hung? That's why I said that. I'm going to do challenging. See what it is. Oh, I have to pick which quiz it is? Let's do random New Testament. Okay. What? Oh. This is not what I thought it was going to be. And Jesus increased in wisdom and blank and in favor with God and man. Popularity, speed, stature, knowledge. I believe it's either knowledge or stature. I'm going to say D, knowledge. C, stature. When did you... Okay, I need you guys to keep track of... keep track of how many get right and how many get wrong for this one. So far, I'm 0 for 1. When did Jesus give the Beatitudes? Matthew 5:1. He instituted... When did he give the Beatitudes? As he instituted the sacrament while hanging on the cross. He's got his arms up. He's like, blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Following his resurrection. D, Sermon on the Mount. Isn't that the whole sermon? It's D. It's D. Correct answer is D. Give me the D, baby. Ye are the blank of the earth. The salt. C. Correct answer, C. Salt. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Hey, I just did this one. For They shall find riches. Theirs is the glory of God. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. They shall find... I think it's C. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. There we go. All right. I actually stopped that one because I wasn't sure what the follow-up to it was. Now I know. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. What do you know? Yeah, okay. So remember earlier in the night when I told that story about taking my daughter to the camp? Well, on our way there, there's a... Jassa says, always look on the bright side of life. On our way there is a hill where a church has erected the 3-cross thing. And every time we drive past there, Lily just looks at them, looks at me, says, always look on the bright side of life. It's adorable. She hasn't seen the whole movie, but she's seen that scene. Okay, page 2. What's my score so far? Is anybody actually keeping track? I think I'm 3 for 4. I think I only got the one wrong. Ye are the blank of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. The light of the world. That's B. Correct answer B, light. Blessed are they who mourn, for blank. They shall find riches. They shall forget. They shall be comforted. They shall be... C, they shall be comforted, I believe. C, they shall be comforted. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel. I know that one. D, bushel. D, bushel. But on a candlestick and give it, and it giveth life under all that are in the house. Blessed are the meek. I did this one earlier too. Where in the Bible does it say, blessed is he who dashes the babies against the rocks? I believe that's Psalm 97. And it's not blessed, it's happy is he. Happy is he who dashes the little ones. It's Psalm 137:9. Oh, no, it is blessed in some versions. So in ESV, it's blessed shall he be who takes your little ones and dashes them against the rock. Jesus should have put that in the Sermon on the Mount. That would have been fun. Yeah, so here we are. Where was I? Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. B. There we go. I already did that one. Oh, man. It's amazing how many of these I covered just by joking about the previous answers. I think... Is anyone actually keeping score? I think I'm... Yeah, okay, yeah, I was 3 for 4 on the last one. I was 4 for 4 on that one. So I'm 7 for 8. Here we go. If ye blank me... Hey. If you blank me... Nobody turned that into a gif. If ye blank me, keep my commandments. That would be love. C, love. Blessed are they which do not hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall inherit the kingdom of God. They shall be filled. They shall always be righteous. They shall find it. I think that one's B, they shall be filled. B, they shall be filled. For God sent not his son into the world to blank the world. they gotta put better spots for their blanks, because this is turning into dirty jokes. Like, really easily. Too easily. But that the world through him might be saved. God sent his son not into the world to condemn, form, destroy, feed. It's either condemn or destroy. I feel like it's condemn. D. Yeah, D, condemn. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. They shall obtain the bread of life. They shall obtain power. They shall obtain riches. I think that's one of the ones that just turns around and is like the merciful shall obtain mercy. I think that's one of those ones. So I'm going to say A. They shall obtain mercy. There we go. See, when the Bible quiz is on the actual contents of the Bible, I do pretty well. But when they ask random shit, how many times does this word appear in the Bible? Who fucking cares? Suffer the little blank to come into me. Okay, it's children, which doesn't make it better now that I've turned it into a dirty joke. Oh God, it's children. D, children. D, children. Blessed are the pure in heart, for blank. They shall see all, they shall find joy, they shall gain power, they shall see God. It's either find joy or see God. I want to say D, see God? D, see God. Yeah. All right. Vegan cheese is way worse than regular cheese. I don't know what spawned that comment, but I agree. Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the blank days. Sabbath days. I think that's when Jesus like healed someone on the Sabbath, I think. So it's a Sabbath. A Sabbath. The worst of. They're throwing Charles Dickens references into the Bible. It was the best of days, it was the worst of days, and I healed a guy on the Sabbath and they wanted to stone me to death for it. And as we saw from Stephen earlier in the stream, that when the scribes and Pharisees got mad at someone for blasphemy, they just fucking stoned him right then and there. They didn't wait till Passover 3 years later. So yeah, Jesus, in John's version of the gospel, Jesus would have been arrested right at the beginning of his ministry and stoned to death. So no Jesus in John. Blessed are the peacemakers, for blank. They shall conquer all. Yeah. I think that one's they shall find peace, or theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So it's either C or D. I want to say it's C. B, they shall be called the children of God. Okay, so now I've gotten 2 wrong. And I'm on page 4, so that's 4, 8, 12, 16. Minus 2 is 14. So I'm at 14 out of 16. This day the scripture is fulfilled in your blank. Lives, homes, ears, cities. I want to say it's lives, A. Ears? The scripture is fulfilled in your ears? Sounds a little kinky. Guess I'm down with it. So now I'm 14 out of 17. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for they shall find peace, or theirs is the kingdom of heaven. I think it's there's the C. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. There we go. Wist ye not... I wish they wouldn't use the fucking King James version. Nobody talks like this anymore. Can you, like... Are these guys a King James only church? Because the King James is obsolete. Like, there are better translations. It was not a good translation even for its time. And it's an even worse translation now. Because, like... And one of the things that always bothers me about the King James only people is that they will read the verse in the King James translation, and then because nobody knows what the fuck that even means anymore, they will then reiterate it in common English. It's like, you know what else does that? The Bibles that are written in common English, except they were done by people who are actually like experts in the original languages, so they're not relying on your ass to translate the shit on the fly. It's actually like there's actual scholarship put into it. So that's my anti-King James only rant. Wist ye not... I don't even know what wist means. Wist ye not that I must be about my blank business? Wist. What does wist mean? What the fuck is a wist? It's probably father. Like, it's fathers. I don't know why I'm questioning this, because if that's Jesus talking, it's his father. He's always talking about his daddy. So it's A, fathers. But, like, what the fuck is a wist? Thou'st shalt... You should have said shalt. Thou'st shalt not speak of my kind in the manner or face thy consequences. Okay, which 2 books of the New Testament did Luke write? None. 0. Zip. Zilch. Because the books that are attributed to Luke were not written by Luke. We don't know who wrote them. They were anonymously authored. It is debatable whether or not they were authored by someone who actually was a companion of Paul, who traveled with Paul for a bit, but it was not written by Luke the physician. But yeah, it would be Luke and Acts. Luke and Acts. What's my score now? I think I got 1 wrong on this one. So I was at 14 when I started, and this is now 20. So 17 out of 20, I think. I don't know. Scott Delahunt's been keeping track, so I'm sure he will pop in with the updated score now. There we go. 17 out of 20. That's not bad. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you for my sake. There's so much persecution porn in the New Testament. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for blank. Great is your reward in heaven. Great shall be your glory. You shall find the grace of... There's some scripting stuff going on here. Okay, I'm going to cover the bottom with my hand. You're just going to have to trust that I'm actually doing this, because I can't see... like, there's always 4 answers, but I can only see the first line of C, so I'm going to pop it up. You shall find the grace of your father. Blessed shall be your family. And that's it. Okay. Persecuted for my sake, shall you rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for you shall find the grace of your father. I think it's great as your reward in heaven. I think it's A, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was C. A, great as your reward in heaven. Fix your code, whoever wrote this page. Oh, I guess Kristen Mills is keeping track as well. It's good to have 2 people keeping track, so if one of you misses something, the other one will pick up on it. What was Luke's occupation? I said this already. I keep on answering these questions in advance. Physician. He wasn't, but people think he was. Physician. D. Okay. Actually, let's go to Colossians 4:14. Let's look that one up and see what it says. Colossians 4:14 ESV, because I like the ESV. Got to remember that servant means slave in the ESV, but aside from that, it's pretty good. Luke, the beloved physician, greets you, as does Demas. Okay, I think I need some context there. 14. Okay, who's writing this? Like, this is just like saying like, hey, this guy says hi, that guy says hi. Say hi to this guy for me. Okay. So this is Paul. Oh yeah, this is how we might know that what are we in Colossians? This is how we might know that Colossians is dictated. Because it's likely that, so verse 18 here says, I, Paul, write this greeting with my own hand. Remember my chains, grace be with you. It was very commonplace back then that someone that would be dictating a letter to a scribe would then prove that it was them who dictated the letter by signing the end with a little phrase like that in their own handwriting, so that you could verify that it's them with their handwriting. And so that provides evidence that Colossians was dictated, because Paul finished it by doing the little signature thing saying, see, this is me verifying that it's actually me that wrote you this. So that brings into question, what counts as an original document for this? Would it have been the original thing that the scribe wrote down? Because scribes would often make mistakes, or as was often was common practice at the time, it's possible that Paul didn't dictate this word for word. He just kind of gave a broad overview of what points he wanted to get across, and then let the scribe worry about the rest. Which would mean that this didn't actually come from Paul. So what was inspired by God? The words that Paul said, or the words the scribe wrote? Because they were not necessarily the same thing. And if they were not the same thing, then we have no way of recovering what Paul wrote. Like, even if we find the first document that was penned by the scribe himself that Paul signed at the end here, which we don't even know if Paul actually did sign it, that could have just been an affectation that he took on for this thing, but that is, like, that does leave open the possibility of dictation. But, like, if it was dictated, then even if we find the original letter that was penned by the scribe himself and signed by Paul himself, that might still not count as the original document, because Paul speaking it out loud, it might have changed it. Like, the scribe might have misheard something. He might have, like, maybe Paul spoke too quick for a bit, so he summarized quickly and changed a couple words here and there. It's impossible to know. Anyway, this little rant about biblical Errancy, biblical reliability. Is that what we're going? No, that's the wrong page. So anyway, what were we? What was Zacchaeus' office? I don't know. I don't know who Zacchaeus was. Leader of the Pharisees, high priest, head of the scribes, chief among the publicans. I want to say chief among the publicans because that's another title that I don't really recognize very much. Like, it rings a bell, but I don't really know it. So this is a guess. I'm saying D. D, chief among the publicans. I metagamed that one again. Which famous missionary did Luke travel and teach with? None of them but Paul is the answer you're looking for. A Paul. A Paul, yeah. Okay. Score, peeps. Your job is now. Why couldn't Zacchaeus see Jesus? Oh, stop with Zacchaeus. Jesus was too far. I didn't see it when it popped up. I gotta be careful with the mouse because I don't have to click it. I just hover and it pops up. Jesus was too far. Oh, is he the guy that was like chasing him through the crowd and he climbed the tree because he was too short and he was the tax collector? And then in one of the other books, it's like Matthew or something, like is one of the actual disciples. Yeah, I think he was short. Zacchaeus was too short to see past the crowd. C, Zacchaeus was too short to see past the crowd. Yeah, I think that's who Zacchaeus was. Okay. So Kristen says, yep. Kristen and Scott both agree. I'm at 21 out of 24. Okay. Which of these narratives was recorded only by Luke? The turning of water into wine, the visit of Gabriel to Mary, the raising of Lazarus from the dead, the visit of the wise men. We just determined earlier today that the wise men were in Matthew. I think it's the visit of Gabriel to Mary, the Annunciation, because I feel like that's one of the Lukey things where like Mary traveled a bunch of places while pregnant and talked to a bunch of people that is not in the Matthew account. So B, visit of Gabriel to Mary. Oh, Gabriel's the angel. How was Zacchaeus able to see Jesus? I answered this already. He climbed a tree. He pushed his way closer to Jesus. He was healed by Simon Peter. He sat on the rooftops. He climbed a tree. D, he climbed a tree. There we go. Which of these narratives was recorded only by Luke? The women at the well, Jesus' ascension, visit of Nicodemus, visit of the shepherds to the baby Jesus. Shepherds to baby Jesus. Luke has the shepherds, Matthew has the wise men, and never the twain shall meet. Visit of the shepherds to the baby Jesus. I wonder how many pages there are. Does it go past 10? After this quiz, I'm done. I'm calling it quits for the night. It's almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, I know. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's so late. Which of these narratives... Stop with they recorded only by Luke things. The women washing Jesus' feet with her hair. Jesus' baptism... I think that one was in John. The foot washing. Jesus' baptism is in all of them, I think. I think John skips the actual baptism part because the baptism implies that there are sins to be forgiven, and John couldn't have that. Jesus forgiving the woman taken in adultery. That, again, I think is only John, because that's one of the stories that was like a later addition. Jesus' discussion with the thief on the cross. Yeah, that's the one. D. I think all three of the other ones are like either only in John or John is the only one that excludes it. And Dark Falcon says, I think they might have a thing for Luke. Remember, I did click random, so this is like just taking all of their New Testament trivia questions and randomly generating them. But yeah, they seem to really love Zacchaeus. Dr. Zaius. Zacchaeus. Oh, Zacchaeus. Okay. How did Zacchaeus react when Jesus asked him to approach him? Zacchaeus came slowly and shyly. Zacchaeus came quickly and joyfully. Zacchaeus could not move. Zacchaeus ran away in fear. Quickly and joyfully. B. He hopped right out of that tree. How did the crowd react to Jesus' request of Zacchaeus? They murmured because Zacchaeus was a sinner. They questioned Jesus' authority for such a request. They went their ways to leave the two alone. They were happy for Zacchaeus because they blah, 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 blah. They murmured because he was a sinner. A. And what's the end of D? They were happy for Zacchaeus because they loved him. That's not how anything works in the Bible. Come on. Nobody's happy for people because they love them. Never. Not in the Bible. Have you read that book? What did Jesus want from Zacchaeus? To go eat in his house. It's like, hey, you climbed a tree to see me. You must like me pretty much. Come feed me. Feed me. Take me into your home and feed me. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop hovering. I didn't see the answer, but I did just answer it before I did that. I don't even know if that's one of the options, but if I'm right, it will be. For Zacchaeus to wash Jesus' feet, for Zacchaeus to receive Jesus into his house, that's the one. For Zacchaeus to move to Jerusalem, for Zacchaeus to give all of his money to the building of the gospel. Yeah, it's B. For Zacchaeus to receive Jesus into his house. B. There we go. Score Peeps update. Which of these narratives was recorded only by Luke? Fuck you. My God. Jesus raising the daughter of Jairus, Jesus' discussion with Zacchaeus, Jesus appointing and sending forth the 70, Jesus being a carpenter. I don't think any of them actually mentioned Jesus being a carpenter. I think they just mentioned that he was the son of a carpenter. Okay, I'm 29 for 32. And we have agreement with both of the scorekeepers. None of these are stories that I know well enough to say for certain. Okay, we don't need the computer sound coming through here, so I can... You guys don't need to hear my notifications. Oh, and you know what? Now that I'm not doing that silly big quiz, I can make these easier to read for you. Look at that. Would you look at that? Now you guys can see it too. Yeah, this is just a guess. I think... You know what? This site has a hard-on for Luke and Zacchaeus, so I'm going to say Zacchaeus is only in Luke. Jesus appointing and sending forth the 70. Okay, that one was wrong. But that was a pure guess, by my own admission. What did Jesus tell Zacchaeus was the reason for the coming of the Son of Man? To clothe the naked, to save the lost, to lift the fallen, to heal the sick. To save the lost. That's Jesus' whole thing, isn't it? B. B, to save the lost. Which of these narratives was recorded only by Luke? How many of these questions are going to be that same question? God damn it. The next one is Zacchaeus as well. This isn't very random, guys. Come on. Jesus being fed vinegar, Jesus sweating blood, Jesus being spit upon, Jesus being nailed to the cross. Yeah, and the other ones, they only use rope. Oh, my God. I know Jesus sweating blood is only in one of them, and I know it's not in John. But that feels like more of a Mark thing, because Jesus was a lot more human in Mark. But Luke? He suffered in Luke as well. So maybe it's that one. The vinegar, it's a different mixture in the different books, but he does get the sponge lifted up to the cross in multiple books, but it's not always the same thing. But people like to harmonize it and pretend like it was the same thing. He got spat on in all four. Jesus was a dirty boy. Like to be spit on me, daddy. So I'm going to say Jesus sweating blood. B. B. Jesus sweating blood. What parable did Jesus give after speaking with Zacchaeus? The parable of the 10 virgins, the parable of the Good Samaritan, the parable of the pounds, the parable of the prodigal son. What is the parable of the pounds? I don't even know that one. The 10 virgins, that's the one where it's like one virgin was better than the others because she kept her lantern lit for longer or something. It's a really weird one. I want to say it was something because Zacchaeus was kind of an outcast. So I don't think it was the prodigal son. So I want to say it's the Good Samaritan, but no, he's told that one after he healed someone, didn't he? Oh, prodigal son. I'm gonna. I don't know. Okay, I'm using a lifeline. I'm polling the audience, and there's a delay, so it's going to be a few seconds. But what do you guys think? A, B, C, or D? I'm debating between B or D. No cheating, please. And Zacchaeus was a tax collector. We actually established earlier he was a publican. I don't know what a publican is, but I always thought he was the tree guy was a tax collector, so maybe a publican was just a different word for a tax collector. When in doubt, pick D. Always go with the D. So we've got one vote for D. Oh, can I do polls in the thing? Is that a thing that we can do? I can do a poll. So you guys can just answer. And I'm only giving you the option of B or D. Actually, no. I'll do A, B, C, D. Just in case one of you guys knows more than me and I'm actually like way off. Ask. Poll time. And my thing is telling me that now would be a good time to insert an ad. So I'm going to insert an ad while you guys do the poll. Ad inserted. Oh, did I just like make everybody delayed by even longer? I don't know. I don't know how those things work. Pick 3, my lord. I know that reference. Oh, we've got 75% D. Nobody's going for B. We've got some A's and C's, but no B's. Progress only says, random ad. It wasn't random. I went back to the YouTube studio and it told me to insert an ad. So I'm like, okay, I do what I'm told. I don't use that button. I think that's the first time I've ever used that button, and I'm probably not going to do it again. It just seemed like a good time because it's like, oh, I've got some dead air to fill, but it doesn't actually give me any like dead air because I guess there's like YouTube Premium people don't get ads. So it just like sets everybody back by however long the ad was. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I won't do it again. Ads during live streams. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. That was my fault. I gave in to the thingy. Okay. Everybody's got 68% for D, so I'm just going to go with the D. Oh, where's my window? There it is. Okay, we're on the last question. C! God damn it. Okay, so I don't know what my score is now. Score peeps, where you at? Okay, I'm going to call it quits at page 10. Oh, it looks like page 10 is the last one anyway. Which of these narratives was recorded only by Luke? Is the last... Okay, I haven't read the second question on this page. I'm guessing now it's going to be about Zacchaeus, whatever his name is. So, which one of these narratives was recorded only by Luke? Jesus healing the woman with the issue of blood. Jesus eating fish and honey following his resurrection. Jesus casting out devils. Jesus giving sight to the blind man. I think, isn't Luke where he sends the demons into the pigs? So it looks like our score is sitting at 31 out of 36, and both my scorekeepers agree. I want to say it's casting the demons out of the pigs, because I'm pretty sure that's only in one book. It might be Luke, and that seems like a Luke-y kind of story. So, C. Oh, eating fish and honey following his resurrection. Yeah, I have no memory of that one. I don't recall that in any of the books. True or false? The world's best Bible trivia website is religionresourcesonline.org. That one is false. Well, okay. My initial gut reaction is false because all of these random questions were it was all the same question but like slightly different contexts. So that like I got kind of annoyed at it, so that's why I want to go with false. But then I remember the other Bible quiz sites that I was doing tonight where it was asking stupid questions. How many times does this word show up in the Bible? I don't fucking know. So yeah, if that's the quality of the rest of them, then sure, this one's true. But it would be nice if it was like a multiple choice thing where I could actually like click the things and it would keep track of my score for me. But true. If you agree, please share on social media. This is me sharing it on social media. Anyway. Oh, where'd I go? Why? Oh, I know where I went. Yeah, I need to, where am I? There I am. Hi. Yeah, so the last one, I set my countdown up so that the countdown video goes and then it just disappears, so I don't have to remember to push the button at the right time to switch to the scene with just me in it, or just me and my guest without the tweets or the articles or anything. So my just me button is what I use to go back there, so you guys don't have to watch the countdown every time I go back to this scene. But I forgot to put this one here. Anyway, that was fun. Who's winning? I won. I actually did pretty well on all of the serious one. I did well on the joking one too, but it was stupid. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. If you guys are seeing me here, yeah. Final scores: we've got 32 of 38, and that's agreed by both of them. Yeah, so let's try some of the self-promotion thing. If you're on this channel, you probably already know about my main channel, Vice Rhino. It's where I do like actually prepared videos, and I do a much better job of them. And there's a lot less umming and awing. Yeah. Oh, no. No dance off needed. Devil's Advocate says, I miss movie night. I miss the movie nights too, but two things there is that, well, first, that was a thing that I did with my wife, and since she is no longer with us, that doesn't happen. It's not as fun getting drunk on your own. But also, it was fun, but man, it was painful. I am not a young kid that can get drunk on a weeknight and not deal with the hangover or whatever. But also, like, I almost never have nights without my kids anymore. And we actually kind of cheat. I'm going to let you in on a secret. We kind of cheated the movie nights. It's like most of the time, the kids were not in the house. Some of the time, Mrs. Rhino, when she, like, after she got a little bit of a buzz, she would switch from whatever booze we were drinking to, like, pouring shots of water and pretending to continue drinking while I got smashed. So that there was always like a responsible adult in the household should something need to, like, should there be an emergency or something like that. And so I can't do that by myself. Like, I mean, yeah, you guys can send me super chats for doing shots of water if you really want me to. Send a super chat right now. I'll go get myself a glass of water. It doesn't really pack the same punch. But yeah, so the movie nights are probably not going to continue. They were also they were also kind of hard to, because I had to find movies that were less likely to do copyright strikes. I mean, I guess now that I do live streaming on a secondary channel, it's not that big a deal. Like, if this channel goes down, this channel's not where I make my money. Like, look at my super chats for tonight. I didn't get a single one, and that's fine. I'm not saying that to guilt you into giving super chats, because I'm bad at self promotion. Yeah, shots of tea might confuse us. Yeah, I'd like to go to bed after them though too, so that wouldn't really work. But yeah, so the movie nights were kind of a pain. It's probably not going to happen again unless I find, like, I do on Twitter occasionally, like, I'll watch a really, really bad movie and I will live tweet out just like my reactions, excuse me, to the various scenes. So that's fun sometimes. I actually know for a fact that the last time I live tweeted a movie that I was watching, Eli Bosnick was reading my live tweet things, and he thought it was funny. And I don't know if I've I don't know if I'm allowed to say this publicly, but there's going to be a special guest on God Awful Movies at some point in the not too distant future. I'm not going to say who. Yeah, but anyway, thank you so much. I guess I have to go get a glass of water because somebody just did that, but I don't have a second person to, like, watch the stream while I'm doing that, so I'm just gonna go to my standby screen. Okay, we're back. And since he actually paid me for this and it is just water, I'm going to go all out. There. You're welcome. Hope that was worth the $2. Oh, lordy lordy. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Subscribe to my other channel if by some freak accident you managed to find me here before you found me over there. My beard is glistening right now because it's wet. And if you're not subscribed here, subscribe here. Like the stream. What other self-promotion stuff am I supposed to do that I'm bad at? I don't know. You guys know. Just do the fucking shit. That's my sign off now. Do the fucking shit. So thanks for joining me. Remember to do the fucking shit. Good night. Oh, someone remembers my adrenochrome video. Oh God, Samuel Patre. Okay. Samuel Patre's last name is Patre, so do I get to call you Daddy? Thanks for the $20, Daddy. Oh, it's actually really hot here, so this is actually nice. I mean, like, the shirt's gonna get clammy and I'm gonna need to change it, but notification bell. Notification bell. Do the fucking shit. Roll credits before somebody pays me more to embarrass myself more. Bye, guys.